Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. Got a cold brew, cold foam situation. And today's video is going to be the finally fall book tag. You know how this goes, but we're just going to be going through the tag questions. I love doing this tag every year. And it is officially fall, which is kind of crazy to think about. But let's go. The first question is, in fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. For this one, honestly, the first one that kind of jumped out at me for a vivid setting was Voidwalker by S.A. McLean, because it is very cold and wintry. Part of the whole idea of the world is that there are these portals you can go through to go to different, worlds or different, planes, and several of them are weather changing. So there's, this winter one. So in this one, it's always snowy, always winter, always cozy. And then there's another one that could be summer or spring, kind of like Quartz. So in the world that it's set in, it's very icy, very cold. There's a lot of snow. It's very isolated, very Nordic kind of. People are riding certain kind of creatures. There's furs that you have to have on. You have to make sure you're keeping warm. So the setting, even though it's not fall cozy, it's very wintry, and it is very vivid because it talks about it so much, and it's such a part of the world where she's navigating having to be cold and having to warm up and having to make sure she has enough layers on, or if she gets wet, it changes things for the moment. So that one for sure has a very vivid setting, and it was the first one that I thought of when this question popped up. Question 2 is, nature is beautiful but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. A very heavy topic that's not necessarily loss or grief, I went with Between These Broken Hearts by Lexi Ryan. This is the second book so it's these Hollow Vow series, but then there's the first duology and the second duology. The first duology follows one sister, the second duology follows the younger sister. The younger sister, Between These Broken Hearts, it's the last book in the second duology. It deals with a lot of heavy themes because the main character has a lot of thoughts of death and wanting to die and not really wanting to be here anymore. And because of that, it leads her to making these deals in the beginning of the book. She's already made the deal, but you kind of learn about it very early on, where essentially she's going to forfeit her life, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care about her life or if anything happens to her. And the dark thoughts of that and the themes of that come up, it's very interesting because it's pretty, for me, in the books that I've read, it's pretty rare to find a main character that is really struggling with her existence and not wanting to be there and having all of these mental health issues and darkness. And I think it was really good. I think it was really good to have in a book and to read and deal with those themes and understand how that affects someone. So I liked the themes were in there, and I think it deals with them pretty well, but it is heavy. So if you're going into it thinking it's going to be more light and fluffy, it's not. But I did like that it was darker. Another one that specifically deals with loss and grief is A Dagger in the Flame by Catherine Doyle. This one specifically, one of the characters loses somebody very important to her at the beginning of the book. And so she's dealing with loss and grief, but so are a lot of the other characters, and in a lot of different ways. Not necessarily the loss of a person, but other things. So that one for sure deals with those topics. Question 3 is, fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. This one I went with Strong Like Water by Undie Colbert. She's a licensed therapist, and she writes several kind of therapeutic books. She gives you examples of having to work through things, and she also gives you tools on how to navigate them, or coping mechanisms and tools to try, on your own. And so I learned a lot in that book. It's one of those books that I can't retain all of it, so I would have to keep going back and keep looking at it when I need it. But this one in particular was really interesting. It says, so Strong Like Water, finding the freedom, safety, and compassion to move through hard things and experience true flourishing. This book was very well done, and I think it has a lot to say and to give to people, but it is one of those things you have to kind of slowly work through and not just consume. I kind of consumed it educationally, but if you really wanted to work through each step, I think it would take a little bit longer, but really good. Question 4, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with people we love. Name a fictional family, household, or friend group that you'd like to be a part of. Honestly, the characters in Dating a Dragon by Christy Boyce, let's assume though that Well, I like hanging out with teenagers, but just for the sake of this question, I'll say that I want to be in this friend group, but I want us all to be in our like mid-20s, mid-30s. Okay? So I want this really fun D&D dynamic where we can all play this game together and have a blast and just have a great friendship and fun time. Because these people were hilarious, they were fun, they were genuine, nice people. Would love to hang out with them. But another one, like, for sure would want to be is The Court of the Coffee Bean by Jennifer Crope. That series, I want to be in that friend group. I want to be the friends of the police officer, the cafe owner, Fae Prince, the Fae assassins, band of assassins. Oh, it would be, I think I would cry laughing and be scared for my life and just have so much fun. And my heart would just be so full and warm. Jennifer Crope, if you can make me like friends with all of them, that would, and you know, invent Fae to be real, that would be fantastic. So if you could get on that for me, thank you. Love that series though, and the first book, Welcome to Fae Cafe. Not that I don't like the other books. I've read the second. I just haven't finished the series. I want to, okay? Question 5 is, the colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. I'm probably going to change this a little bit to fall-colored books and use like edges and spines, but hold please. Okay, I think this is pretty good, especially trying not to repeat myself, but look at that. We got some yellow, some orange, some swirly red and black, red spine, this cool spooky kind of spine, or pages with orange. It fades to blue, but also has some leaves in there. Not bad in a pinch. And then question 6 is, the days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. Without mentioning Welcome to Fae Cafe again, because I love that book and series and I talk about it a lot, I think. I don't really care, but I do want to say another one. And this is one that I actually read recently, and it was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This one kind of caught me off guard with how good it was. I thought it was going to be really good because my friend Kate recommended it. But it is very heartwarming and nice, even though it does have like themes that are dealt with in it. But it's funny. It's really cute with the family dynamics. And the way it's written is just very soft and lovely. So that one for sure, because there's a single mom who has a teenage daughter, and the teenage daughter calls into this radio station to try to get her a date because he's doing this like dating kind of show. You can like call in to help figure your love life out. And the radio host is intrigued by this, and they ended up kind of going viral. And so his boss demands that he brings in this girl, if she's willing, and do this like dating type show for her and help her find some dates. And in the midst of that, you get to see like the radio host's crew, like his co-workers and boss, and they're also kind of lovely and cute. But then the girl, you get to see her life, her co-worker's life, because she's a mechanic. All of that dynamic is very sweet and cute and warm. And then her family is also really cool because while she is a single mom, the baby daddy, they were together in high school, got pregnant, and separated because he's gay, so they're not together, but they stayed really close friends. And so it's kind of like a really cute family unit, even though dysfunctional is not the right word I'm looking for. It's not a like nuclear, stereotypical normal type of a family, but it is very sweet and endearing because Mateo and his partner, and I can think of his name and not her name, that's Lou, and Lou, they all come around the kid in a very precious way. And so all of that written is just sweet. It's a cute, lighthearted read. There's some heavier themes, there's some fallouts, but for the most part, it's fast, it's fun, it's very precious. Give it a shot if that's what you want. And then question 7 is, fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. This one is actually pretty easy to say. I think I've said this before in this tag, but I would actually really like to go back and read Vicious and the Villain series by V.E. Schwab, especially because she announced Victorious and she turned in like the whole book. She's just in the editing process now, but the whole first draft is in. And when I was reading one of her like author newsletters, it said that Victorious would come out in 2026. So I do really want to reread Vicious and Vengeful before I read Victorious, which is not something I usually do when I'm looking for the new book that's coming out in a series that I've really loved. But for these, I think it's warranted because I loved Vicious. Vicious is my favorite book of all time. And it's been a long time since I've read it. And I just think maybe it's time to give me a refresh of everything before Victorious comes out. Which is, again, not something I usually do. But I'm kind of excited to do it this time. I need to time it right, though. So I'm not, like, reading it now. Because what I want to do is read it now. Also, because I'm adding to my bookish sleeve. And I want to get a Vicious piece done. And I'm working with my tattoo artist right now to get that sorted. So it's kind of in my brain also, and I really want to read it, but I'm trying to bide my time also and read it in the opportune moment so that when Victorious comes out, which is probably going to be in the fall of next year, that I'm primed. That was a very long answer, but there you go. And a peek into my tattoo life. And then finally, question 8 is, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. I will draw you a picture, right? Picture this with me, okay? You, a cup of coffee, hot coffee, black if you're me, a nice warm cinnamon roll with icing, the cream cheese icing because it's the best, a cozy chair, a nice blanket, yes, and then you have a book or an audiobook and you're just vibing. There's probably a fall scented candle lit as well. That's the vibe I want. But realistically, I don't usually have that all the time, but I do like a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. I also have kind of gotten into, I didn't used to be like this, but I've kind of gotten into the like YouTube video of like a fireplace, or not even that, but you can look up like cozy vibe and it'll give you like an autumnal room, like a room that has a huge window and then it's like an autumnal scene and it's got like really calming music. I'm kind of into that. So having that on the background as well, if I was physically reading, is very nice. But because I'm usually listening to audiobooks, I'll sometimes sit with a blanket on the couch, listen to audiobooks. I do other things with audiobooks, but in the cozy setting, I'm sitting, blanket, audiobooks, and then sometimes I'm coloring or playing some games on my phone or something so that I have something to occupy my hands while I'm listening. Well, those are all of my answers to the Finally Fall book tag. I would love to know your answers to any of these down below, but particularly if there's a cozy accessory, let me know what it is, or if you have a great coffee recipe. Yes. But if you don't have anything to say necessarily, just leave me a coffee cup emoji, please. But for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.